This is what unity looks like. This is why we are here from inside of the Supreme Court to the streets. We are going to take a moment to welcome to the stage our amazing, I repeat, amazing, phenomenal legal teams.
I think that we need to recognize the beautiful about this legal team.
Yes.
Because they understand how it is to work with the community. Not ahead, not behind, shoulder to shoulder. Because that is our community.
That is our community. And one thing you have to understand, when it comes to the fight for lives, I'm not just saying TPS, but for the fight for our very existence, our very lives. And you have people who take it upon themselves to stand, to face, to bravely advocate and stand in front of the highest court of the land to center the realities and lives of TPS holders. I cannot say thank you enough to the amazing legal team that have stood shoulder to shoulder, hands to hands, from the beginning to now, and we will continue. And also our brave plaintiffs. Some of them are here today, some of them couldn't make it. But I would love for our legal team to say their names and for all of us to repeat their names because they were brave enough, even in the face of extreme trauma, stress, difficulties. They say, I am going to step up. I'm going to be the face, the voice of 1.3 million people. So today we say thank you to the plaintiffs who are brave enough to step up, and we say thank you to the legal teams who said yes when everything seems to be impossible. They said yes, and you will see the diversity in the legal team, and they will give you an update of what happened on the inside and how we are going to move forward. Thank you so much. Merci en pile.
Merci. Okay, so now let's give it up for you. Let's do it. Let's give it up. Yay! And now let's welcome the best legal team for the TPS community. All right, and he's gonna start Ahilan, and he will pass the mic to his colleague. Ahilan.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. It's amazing to look out onto this crowd and see such a rich set of people from so many countries and so many places. And it just reminds me of the reason why we have been in this struggle for almost a decade. It's because, to paraphrase my good friend Pablo Alvarado, my leader, where is he gone? He was up here. Oh, sorry. To paraphrase my good friend and the leader of the National Day Labor Organizing Network, Pablo Alvarado, the countries that people have come from, they are unsafe, right? And it doesn't matter whether you have fled because there was an earthquake or because there was an armed conflict. It doesn't matter if the government that you fled was a left-wing government or a right-wing government. At the end of the day, people deserve to live in dignity and safety. That's it. That's it. And what has always filled me with joy in the 10 years that I've spent working with the National TPS Alliance and the TPS holder community more broadly is that all of you come together to stand for this basic humanitarian principle. And that's what we were fighting for in the Supreme Court today. Before I go further, I need to say my deepest thanks, first of all, to the lawyers who have represented the Dahlia Doe team, who stepped in. Yes. From the International Refugee Assistance Project, of which I'm a proud board member, IRAP. from Muslim advocates who stepped in to do a number of TPS cases, and from the law firm of Vanderhout, Brigaliano, and Nightingale, superb immigrants' rights lawyers from San Francisco, and others also who have helped. They brilliantly litigated the case in the district court, and then were kind enough to bring us in, the National TPS Alliance and Endelon team, in order to prepare and present as best as we could in the Supreme Court. So thank you very much to the IRAP lawyers. Second, I have to tell you, this is literally, I think, the first thing I've ever said about TPS in a decade that was not pre-vetted by Jessica Bansal and Emmy McLean. Let me say that again. Jessica Bansal and Emmy McLean, now of the National Day Labor Organizing Network and the ACLU of Northern California. We have done this work. That's why I'm screwing it up, is the reason why that's happening. We have done this work together for a decade, and working with them has been just one of the great joys of my life. And I have to say, as a whole, it has been just a tremendous honor and privilege to represent the broader TPS holder community from Honduras, Nicaragua, Nepal, Haiti, Venezuela, Sudan, and now obviously Syria, and Nicaragua, and through all of that work, it has brought me so much joy. So I thank all of you for giving us the opportunity to work alongside you to try and bring justice in this area. And then the very last thing I will say is that we have known from the beginning, in 2018, we've known from the beginning that what the TPS community deserves, what they deserve, all of you deserve, is permanent residence. That's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. And we know, win, lose, or draw as a result of this decision, and I think all of those are possible, and I won't bore you with the details, but win, lose, or draw, the ultimate solution to ensure that the TPS holder communities are given what you all deserve, the dignity and respect that you deserve, it lies in the hands of the United States Congress. That's where it ultimately lands. And today, I think on behalf of everyone, I call on the political branches of this country, the Congress, in the states, in the presidency, everywhere, just to do the right thing and grant permanent residence for this community. And with that, I will pass it along to Dima. Sorry.
Yes.
You want to get the podium? Sure. Go for it.
Hi, everyone. Today, I sat at the Supreme Court and I listened. I listened as decisions that will impact the lives of thousands of people were decided in that room. And then I'm out here and I see the very people these decisions will impact. I'm here today as the co-founder of Immigrants Act Now, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Syrian TPS community and all TPS communities who have been forced to live in the shadow of uncertainty for far too long. And let's be real about what that uncertainty looks like. It looks like parents lying awake at night, knowing that they cannot protect their children from what comes next. It looks like going to work every day, not knowing if today is going to be the day you're told that you no longer belong. It looks like families thinking about the lives they built, year by year, struggle by struggle, and thinking about it slipping away from their hands. And they are carrying all of this weight without having done anything wrong. TPS holders follow the law, they work hard, and they contribute. They are not strangers to this country. They are the very foundation of it. They are the doctors caring for patients. They are the students shaping our future, the small business owners creating jobs, and the neighbors showing up for their communities every single day. TPS didn't give people a shortcut. It gave them a chance to live with dignity, a chance to work hard, a chance to contribute, to build something real. And to take that away now, to send people back to danger and instability, that is not a policy solution. That is abandonment. That is tearing families apart, ripping people from the very communities they helped build. And what happened here today echoes far beyond Syria and Haiti. It reaches into homes, into workplaces, into communities across this country, where over 1 million TPS holders are waiting to hear about their fate, are waiting to see if everything they've built will be taken away from them. But we won't let that happen quietly.
Yeah.
We are here, we are watching, and we are not backing down. Because TPS holders from all countries are rooted in the United States. Their contributions shape this country every single day, and their humanity is simply not up for debate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. What she said is that our humanity is not up for debate. But we have some great debaters here. And they have been doing phenomenal jobs. So we are going to go with the amazing Jeff Pipoli. Very good. Look, I'm reading and learning and doing. And Jeff is behind every fight, and he's dedicated to represent with humanity and taking the stories of every TPS holders and bring that into the courtroom. I spoke with Raymond. Raymond, you here?
I'm here.
With Raymond, my Haitian brother, and I said, so what do you need? What's going on? And he said, we are literally our head down 24/7. Making sure that we are prepared, making sure that when we bring our voices, there is no question about what we are here to defend. So thank you so much, and I pass you the mic.
Well, that's that one on?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little closer.
This is very overwhelming. Hello, hola, and bonjour. I'll start with something that I just believe to be true and that was the driving force behind all the work that I do in this space, which is that immigrants are good, actually. My grandfather, and a bunch of people have heard this story, but my grandfather used to tell me that my dad came here from Hungary, my great-grandfather, with no skills and no education. And within 2 generations, we went to college graduates and doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, every one of my cousins has heard a version of this story because I heard it too, usually after he had a couple martinis. He would say, that only happens in America. And that's what makes America amazing, is that a family like ours could come here and make it. And when I look out over everybody, I see my own ancestors.
Bravo, bravo.
So, thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you for making this country as good as it is. And thank you also, I'll tone down the emotions now. Thank you especially to the lawyers that I worked with, in particular, Ira Kurzban, Sejal Zota, Raymond Dane, and Andy Tauber. This man would stay up. I can't tell you how many conversations we had at 3 in the morning over the past 5 months because we were both still working. And to the entire TPS community, we hope that we vindicated you today, and it'll remain to be seen whether we did, but this is what, if you know, I don't know win or lose, no matter what, that's what leaving it all on the floor looks like. So, thank you.
Thank calling my brother, Viles, to come to the podium. And he is a TPS holder, a plaintiff. His brother is a plaintiff in this case. They came all the way from Ohio. We heard the pet eating stories. He has been in the forefront with the community, fighting, putting his life in the balance. When we say thank you, we say thank you to you for being inside of the courtroom to represent not just yourself, but 1.3 million people.
Hey, it's been a long way. Basically, I want to start with my personal story. In 2020, I was assigned as a missionary, a young Moravian pastor in Haiti. And I started to do some work with the church. And all of a sudden, I started to receive some letters from the hoodlums asking me money that I don't have. And automatically, my mother understood that I was in danger and suggested that I leave the country. And I came here in the US in 2020. 2021, our president was assassinated. And at that year, I have a little brother. He was just graduating from medical school. And he called me and said that they kidnapped some of our family members on the way to Gonaive. And there is no future for him in Haiti. And I booked a flight for him. He came to join me. And we've been here. And when I was here, we're working with the community. We see everything that happens. And all of a sudden, we fled our country because of the condition the country is. And all of a sudden, we got into another unexpected situation in Springfield where we were accused of eating pets. So at that particular time, I was working as a case manager at the Department of Jobs and Family Services. And when I was contacted and people were asking me questions and I didn't know what to say, and all that I could say is to get involved and tell our own story.
Yeah.
And the way of telling it is to show up, because at the end of the day, if you don't tell your story, folks will tell story about who you are not. So I was contacted by the ACLU folks to become a plaintiff, and I was pleased to do that. And all of a sudden, the law firm of Jeff Pipoli invited me to be a plaintiff, but I could not be a plaintiff in both cases. And at that time, I had to have a very hard conversation with my little brother because he came here as a physician, but he could not use his credential here. He went back to nursing school and he was working as a registered nurse, and now asking him to become a plaintiff, he did not understand what that mean, and I explained to him, and I told him that we have to do that because at the end of the day, we do it for ourselves, we do it for the community, we do it for all the TPS holders, because some of the things that you do in life, most of the time it has to be an act of unselfishness just to make sure that you show up for yourself. So we became plaintiff and we've been fighting in Ohio. And we are here today by the fact that we know what is at stake. I show up today because I understand that in my office in Ohio, there are so many families come to the office asking questions, what about their tomorrow? What will happen to them? And you can imagine being here in the US, but still struggling to know what your tomorrow will be. So the condition that led to TPS designations for Haiti and Syria have not simply vanished. Ongoing instability, humanitarian crisis, and safety concerns continue to make a return dangerous and in many cases untenable. So the question before the court is not just a legal one, it is a moral one about who we are as a nation and how we treat people who have rallied on our communities. So we urge a decision that reflects both the law and our shared values, fairness, stability, and compassion. So stripping protections from those communities would cause needless harm, separate families, and disrupt the local economies across the country. So we will continue to stand with TPS holders. I will continue to stand for myself. I will continue to stand for my little brother and advocate for permanent legislative solution that provides a certainty and dignity to those who have long called this country home. So the fight will continue, and I thank you for all of you who have been taking part in this fight. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Billis. Okay, so now we're gonna hear, we still have 3 more speakers and then the music will continue. So let's hold it, I know you want to hear what happened inside. So now we're gonna hear from Sheriff Ali, President International of Refugee Assistance Project, IRAP. Welcome, let's give it up, All right.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharif Ali. I'm the president of the International Refugee Assistance Project, and we exist to serve people. We exist to serve people who are seeking safety because their homes are no longer safe. And that is why Congress created the TPS program in the first place. While we don't know what the Supreme Court will rule today, we do know what the stakes are. We know that the future of TPS and the lives of the not just hundreds of thousands of people from Haitian or Syrian descent, but rather 1.3 million people from the 17 total TPS countries are at stake. This administration is not above the law and should not be able to ignore Congress and bypass the courts to conduct the largest dedocumentation effort in American history. The law is not optional. Protecting people from danger is not optional. And today, we are here to make sure that the message is heard, loud, clear, and unmistakable. It is incredible to be here today with so many brave people from so many different countries. Whether you are Burmese or Cameroonian, whether you are Haitian or Syrian, whether you're a nurse or a construction worker, whether you're a neighbor, a mother, a daughter, your life matters. You belong here. Thank you.
All right. So now we're also gonna hear from Omar Farah, Executive Director of Muslim Advocates. Okay, let's give it up.
What a gathering. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Omar Farah. I lead Muslim Advocates. It's a 20-year-old social justice organization. We couldn't be more honored to be among these incredible advocates in the TPS holder community. Let's be clear. The attack on TPS is part of the administration's larger attack and its mass deportation and detention programs. It's cruel and it's dangerous. The futures of over 1 million people are now in the balance as the Supreme Court decides whether or not it's going to uphold these attacks or whether it's going to stand as a necessary check against another presidential power grab. The correct legal and the correct moral outcome is to stand with TPS holders and preserve TPS, protect it. It is a core humanitarian provision in our immigration code to help protect exactly from this sort of reckless and arbitrary attack that would cast TPS holder communities out with no regard. The law is there to protect the most vulnerable. because no one is disposable. So whatever happens, TPS holders who are our family members, our loved ones, our colleagues, our neighbors, will continue fighting for justice and the opportunity to continue building their lives here in the United States. Muslim Advocates is honored to be part of this fight with you, as we have for the last year, challenging not just TPS revocations for Syria, but also for Somalis, for Ethiopians and South Sudanese. And let me say this, and I'll stop. I'm sure that the TPS holders and their communities will be successful. I'm sure of it. I say that as a Somali American. I'm sure of it. Because nothing has ever been able to dim the righteous aspirations of all people to build lives of dignity in safety with their families. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, brother. You heard it, right? As a Somali American continuing to push through, thank you for being here. And now we are going to pass to our dear Justice Warrior, Sejong.
Hi there. I am one of the lawyers on the MIO team. I'm with Just Futures Law, and I think, right, the $1 million question, I think everyone wants to know what happened in that courtroom if you weren't there. So, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. No one ever knows what's going to happen, but I can tell you this. The government came in today and said they should have the unchecked power to do mass deportations, to expel people from their communities. They said, hey, we should be able to flip a coin and decide whether to terminate the TPS designation of a country. They came in with very, very extreme positions saying, nobody has to follow the statute. They don't even have to make a determination, and it doesn't have to be done in the required timeline. And there was a lot of concern about those extreme positions on the court today. The other thing I can tell you is that all of you were represented so well. Jeff and Ahilan were outstanding, and were so forceful about why we are on the right side of the law. But equally important, okay, I'm a movement lawyer. Equally important to this campaign, to the litigation, is all of the organizing and advocacy that each one of you have done, that so many, that thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have done since the beginning of this administration, since Trump won, we were doing this, right? And so many of you have told your stories. You've gone to rally after rally. You have gone to your political leaders, and you're speaking. You came here today to speak truth to power, okay? And that has been foundational to court after court standing with us. And even to this court, I don't know what this court is going to do, but this court kept relief in place while the case proceeds, and that is because of all of the power of the organizing and the advocacy that all of you have been part of. I am so proud to be one of the lawyers on this case, and I am so deeply inspired by the courage and everything that each of you has brought to this fight. We don't know what the court will do, but I promise you, this legal team is going to be with you every step of the way, no matter what happens. We are going to help each community prepare for the outcome, whatever that is. But really, I just want to salute all of you. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. So I think the team is gonna leave that direction, and then
Si se puede.
Yeah, si se puede.
Yes, we can. We nous capable. Si se puede. Si se puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We nous capable. We nous capable. And we want to say thank you to the amazing teams of attorneys, the brave plaintiffs, and we are going to continue with some music. And
accountability. Thank you so
There are so
much.
many. Un poquito en español estaban pidiendo algunos por ahí. La audiencia terminó, los argumentos se hicieron. Difícil, dicen los abogados, de saber exactamente cuál va a ser la decisión, pero lo que sí se sabe es que se defendió el TPS adentro de la Corte Suprema, se hicieron los argumentos y la decisión no se sabe cuándo va a llegar, pero se espera que pueda ser entre junio y julio, entonces en los próximos días. Pero otra cosa, hay que tener bien claro que el trabajo legal es una parte del esfuerzo que hay que hacer. Para lograr un estatus permanente tenemos que seguir organizando y pasar un proyecto de ley que nos dé una residencia permanente. So, la lucha continúa. So the fight continue. Thank you everyone. If you are going home, be safe, drive safe. Thank you for coming. Let's continue fighting. Vamos a continuar luchando y vamos a continuar con los jornaleros del norte.